Hello, you're welcome to today's segment of the condominium grip. Oh my God, it's a chilly morning today in Uganda, so forgive my attire. Yeah, it's so cold here in Uganda today. But as I promised, we would look at the traditional septic tank. Last time we looked at the biodigester. The content is right here. You click on this link, it will take you direct to that biodigester presentation. So today, in today's segment, we shall look at the traditional septic tank, which I'm going to explain to you today. So in case you're interested in knowing how that works, please stay tuned. Welcome back. So the traditional septic tank, most of the houses that were built in the 90s, in the early 2000s, all the old houses, I am sure have this kind of the traditional septic tank, unless if it was changed to maybe the biodigester or any other kind of septic tank. But today we are going to look at the traditional septic tank, which looks like this. It looks like this with these chambers. So the chambers depends on the design that the owner or the contractor of the property wanted to use, or what works for that property. But normally the chambers are divided like you see here. Some have 2 chambers, some have 3, some have even 4 chambers. So in this diagram right here, the chambers, I've used the 3 chambers. Now I'm going to show you how these chambers work. Now the inlet pipe right here, where the red arrows are moving from your house, this is where all the plumbing matter is carried from. So all the waste from your house, from your bathroom, from your kitchen, from your toilet, all that plumbing waste ends up through the inlet pipe that comes from your house, through the inlet pipe that comes from your house, through to the chamber 1 of the septic tank. Yeah, so as you've seen, as directed and indicated by the red arrows, all that fecal matter, all that waste ends up into chamber 1 from your house, from your bathroom, from your toilet, from your kitchen, ends up in chamber 1. So when that matter reaches chamber 1, it divides itself, directed and indicated, into 3 sections. The solids, all the solids, as the heavy solids, settle on the ground, which includes the fecal matter. All the toilet paper settle down as shown by the sludge, which is known as the sludge. Yeah, the solid waste from the house is known as the sludge. Then the water settles in the middle, so which is indicated by the effluent water from your house. The water from your house is known as the effluent. Then the fats and the grease from your kitchen floats on top of the water or on top of the effluent, and that fat or oils is known as the scum. So as shown in the diagram below, as shown in the illustration, you can see that all this matter settles in chamber 1 or in chamber A. So this chamber A has an inspection point, as shown, that circle being shown by the yellow arrow. That is the inspection point. So this means that you can actually open and inspect these chambers to see what is in, or to empty it. I'll explain this more in detail as we go on. So what happens is there is a pipe that connects direct from an inspection point, as shown that ray. What happens is there is a pipe that connects direct from the effluent, from the water section, to remove that water and take it to chamber B. As more waste comes from the house, the water also increases. So some of that water is carried into chamber B. So as the waste moves into chamber B, you can see, as I've indicated, the solids, the scum, the sludge, they kind of reduce, yeah, they become little, because these chambers are meant to clean this waste that is coming from the house, so that the water that we remain with in chamber C is totally clean water that has no fecal matter or toilet paper or any other solids or oils. It's just water that is directed to the soak pit or to the treatment plant. Yeah. So what happens is, when the water moves into chamber B, it goes through the same process. The solids settle down, the water in the middle, and then the scum, which is the oils and fats, settle on top of the effluent of the water. So still, that water, as it increases, it moves from chamber B into chamber C, which we find that in chamber C, the water is clearer, it's clean. Yeah, but of course not safe. It is clean. If you want it safe, then you have to take it through a treatment plant, and then you boil it. When it is taken back into your house, then you can drink it, or you can use it for other things like irrigation or washing your car. You can use that water. Clean water comes out, which can be used, which can be reused for domestic purposes. So basically, the traditional septic tank function in a way that the waste material moves into these chambers. Whichever chamber it leaves, it goes into the next chamber when it is more of water and clean water that can be reused. The main aim of these chambers is to get clean water that can be introduced into the soak pit or into any water treatment plant, so that it can be used, as I've said, for irrigation. It can be taken back into the house to be reused, maybe to flush your toilet. So that is it. So this is basically how the traditional septic tank functions. So as you can see right here, this is a more colorful illustration. It's the same thing, but it will give you a clear mental picture of how this looks like. So normally all of us will be walking and in our compound, and you see a cover, a manhole cover, such as this one right here. You see a manhole cover, and that is the inspection point for the septic tank. So as I've indicated, forgive my art, but where I've indicated as inspection point, that is actually the manhole cover, which can be opened to clean or to empty the septic tank. So what happens is, as you can see, there is a lot of waste that is being left behind that is not taken into the soak pit. So every now and then there has to come a truck. A truck is brought to empty these chambers, so that they don't get a backflow back into the pipe and into the house. So you find that this fecal matter has to be emptied every now and then. What is left, the water of course is carried away into the soak pit or the treatment plant, but what is left into the chamber, the fecal matter and the fats and all those other things that are left that is not water, has to be emptied every now and then, because it becomes full maybe every after a year or 2 years or 3 years, depending on the usage. These septic tanks have to be emptied so that its functionality can continue without any inconvenience to the end user. So that is how the traditional septic tank functions. So you can choose either to go with the biodigester or with the septic tank, the traditional septic tank. That is all up to you, depending on its functionality. So the work of the septic tank is mainly to get clean water from all the fecal matter that is coming from your house, or all the plumbing matter, the waste matter that is coming from your house. That is the work of the septic tank. So it works in a way to ensure that the water that is released into the soak pit, or that the water treatment plant, is more of water, of clean water, than fecal matter or solids or waste from your house. So that is what the septic tank does. So it's up to you to choose which one works best for you, either the biodigester or the traditional septic tank. So some people actually prefer the traditional one because it is what works for them, and others prefer the biodigester. No problem. You can choose whatever works for you. So that is it for the functionality of the traditional septic tank. So they all work so well to make sure your living in your condo unit is perfect without any inconvenience as regards plumbing. So that is the functionality of the septic tank. I hope I've been able to increase on your plumbing knowledge today, so that next time someone is discussing the functionality of the septic tank in your condo unit, you know exactly what they are talking about. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. So in case you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the notification button as well. You can leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll be so happy to read your comment. Yeah, thank you. See you next time.